What did you say we were on? 33?
I think so.
Our podcast is so old.
We're getting up there.
Today I have dark chocolate almonds.
And I've got popcorn.
Popcorn definitely makes better sounds. I also have goldfish for when I get tired of sweet stuff. Nice. The pistachios last time were pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good crunch.
All right. We had a plan. What was our plan?
So I thought of a prompt that was like, there's two sides to this prompt. There's one where it's like kind of reasonable, and one where it's like, this is a fantasy land. So part of this is, what would you do if you had like Jeff Bezos money?
Yeah.
What
Like,
would you do
what-
if you were
what's
Jeff
your-
Bezos?
What's your stupid, like, millionaire bullshit where you're, ignoring all of the poor people? Like, what's your stupid, I want to do this because I can?
And versus what good, like, what would you bring to the world?
Or, like, yeah, what's the first thing? Like, what would you do, like, when you won the lottery or whatever? I feel like it's hard to pose it as, like, what would you do if you were Jeff Bezos? Because I would never become Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the heart to like fuck over my workers.
I would never be able to just become that rich, like, by working, because, quote unquote, working, because, like, becoming a billionaire via a job requires you to just step on people and treat them like hot garbage.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I won $1 billion from the lottery,
I'm just thinking, like, what if you possessed Jeff Bezos, like, right now? What would you do?
stay in space, go to space, stay there. Actually, no. If I could I could, like, Danny Phantom fucking Jeff Bezos. I would pay all the politicians more than they're getting paid to not fight COVID and climate change. Like, those two are the big ones right now.
Yeah.
Like, they're already getting paid by, like, big oil and shit to keep fucking up the world,
Yeah.
I would just, like, buy out Exxon and then make them fucking stop.
Halt.
Halt.
You violated the law. That's valid.
But taking Jeff Bezos out of the question.
Yeah.
If I could just, like, do, fuck off and do whatever, like, money is no object. For some reason, the first thing that pops into my mind is building a water park for dogs.
That sounds sick.
Like, I want Waterworld, but for dogs.
I've seen one on TikTok that opens specifically for dogs, like on a certain day of the week.
Yeah, they usually, like, a lot of pools will do that. And Waterworld has done it before, where, like, when they're closing, before they drain everything, they have a doggy day.
Hell yeah.
And, like, the dogs can come and swim in, like, the wave pool and whatever. But I want a water park that is specifically designed for use by dogs.
Yeah.
Like, everything is designed
with them,
to have, like, if you were gonna, they'd be, like, simple rides, obviously, because you don't want to, like, scare the shit out of your dogs. But, like, inner tubes and stuff, like lazy rivers and shit that are designed to have, like, a person and their dog in it.
That sounds sick. I would put that, like, on a lakefront.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be, like, you can hang out in the lake and fish and whatever. And it's, like, somehow that brings it down a notch, you know what I mean? Like, it's not supposed to be super clean or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you go in there expecting it to be a little dirty.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, okay, yeah. The dog hair is fine. Like, if I'm going to a place for dogs, it's gonna be dirty.
Yeah, because it would also definitely have to be, like, drinkable water so that the dogs aren't getting sick.
Yeah.
So it couldn't really be chlorine water.
Yeah.
Or salt water.
That's fair. I think I would start a rescue or, like, fund rescues that are already working here and, like, help them out. And also, There's a lot of causes that I would donate to.
Yeah.
You know, if I had like unlimited money, I'd be like, yeah, I want to support these things.
Yeah.
I want these things to get better.
My other outrageous thing would be to like, I want to have animatronic dragons just to have.
That's valid.
Like, to, you know, that can fly and shit and like hang out on my
Build
castle.
a drone that looks like a dragon.
And I would just ride my dragon.
Valid.
And just like walk around with it. And it would just vibe on my fucking castle turrets. Because of course I would have a castle. If if I'm having dragons, obviously I have to have a castle.
Obviously.
For my dragons to live in.
I don't know how you couldn't.
Exactly. And my castle would be like fuck off in the middle of nowhere, like in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah.
And it would just be like Dragon Mountain.
Fuck yeah, dude. Another thing that I would do, like I would move for sure, but I would probably like buy my family members houses that they want.
See, that's like my realistic thing. Like if I actually won the lottery, what I would actually do is like first thing I would do is pay off my parents' house and then get them a different one that isn't a piece of shit.
Yeah. Get them something that they would want.
Actually, more specifically, I would pay off my parents' house and sell it and whatever, and then buy out the people who live in the house that my parents should be living in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kick them out. And then fund all of the landscaping and shit to fix the yard that they have destroyed.
Yeah.
Which, in case I haven't talked about this on the podcast before, when my dad was young, his family built a house, and it was like specifically he asked his parents that like the only thing that he wanted in their will or anything was to have that house. And his stepbrother kind of manipulated my grandma, who was, you know, starting to fall to dementia, and convinced her that she needed to sell it instead. So now my dad owns the property right next to it and just has to like watch these people destroy this house.
Yep.
Last time I went out there, this has been his new thing. First of all, it used to have like incredible landscaping. The backyard was huge and it was basically just like forest.
Yeah.
What I remember when I was a kid anyway. It was the best place to play hide and seek or like capture the flag in any of those games. And for a long time, it was just like watching all those trees die because they're all dead now. All of them.
That's so sad.
Or just about anyway. And now they had a really, really awesome gazebo and it's just collapsing in on itself. And that's kind of his new fixation, that he's just watching the gazebo fall apart.
That he built.
Yeah. So.
Which is super sad.
Yeah. That's one of the first things that I would do. I would just like pay the people that live there to fuck off.
Yeah.
And buy the house and like fix it up and, you know, put it back how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Your dad should just turn into like a Scooby-Doo villain and start haunting those people who are in that house. And like like act like a ghost.
Yeah.
And start fucking up shit.
He could wear his dragon costume that he wears for Halloween every year.
Yeah. He's smart. He could rig up something and just become a Scooby-Doo villain.
Rig him up on a pulley system and he'd fucking break a hip.
Yeah. That just reminds me of the meme that I showed you. This is the balloon you get when somebody's in the hospital for doing something stupid.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like a heart balloon, but it had just like, you know, the face that's just kind of like, oh. The like sideways grimace.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I would do. Like in real life, if I fell into money. I would also just like, I would pay off all of my parents' shit.
Yeah.
And my shit, but like they're just kind of bigger.
Yeah. For me, I would pay someone to finish that Mustang so my dad could finally just sell it and get rid of it because it's it's problematic. And then I would give him a big chunk of change to fix up the garage and things like that, and just have all of the tools that help him do things better. Like, he got a lift a couple years ago, and that thing has been amazing for him. And I don't worry so much about him jacking up the cars, because my dad's old. My dad's old as fuck. And I'm like, one of these days, something's going to happen out there, because he does sketchy shit. Like, he doesn't do anything like bad, but it's like bad for him.
Yeah. Like things that are just dumb for young people to do, and then he's also old, so it just makes it that much worse.
Yeah. So he'll get on a sketchy ladder or something, and he'll be like, "This is fine," when it's rickety, and it's just I want him to be safe.
Yeah. Dude, that's one thing. My mom, you mentioned the ladder. My parents have several ladders, like my dad, of varying heights and stuff. My mom has her ladder that she bought, and it was like the one that she had at school. And she'd use it when she was decorating her classroom or whatever. It says Ms. Quinn on it.
Aw.
Like spray painted. And it's horrible. It's like so old and wobbly and like horrible. So and she insists on only ever using that ladder.
Why?
My dad will be like, why don't you use one of the better ones? Like, mostly the only thing that they need ladders for at this point are like to get up into the attic to get decorations or whatever, which is usually her doing that. So, first of all, it's shorter than the other ones. It's easier to use the taller ones to get shit out of there, but she like refuses to use any other ladder. My dad's always like, why don't you use one of the better ones? You get up there, you're by yourself because you just get it in your mind that you want to do this, and you use that shitty fucking ladder.
Our parents are so hazardous.
Like, come on, when my dad tells you some bullshit you're doing is stupid.
Like, seriously, though.
The man who's broken damn near every bone in his body.
Yeah, that's when you know it's super sketchy.
But she's like, no, but I like mine.
I mean, it's cute. Make a shelf out of it.
Right?
If you like it. But don't fucking use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got one of those, and it was my grandpa's like painting ladder, and it's 1 billion years old, and it's rickety as fuck. The wood is like hanging on for dear life, and it has like this cross section of wood in the center, and it's just falling apart. Every time my dad uses it, I'm like, this is the worst, and I need you to stop.
Right. That's the thing. My mom's isn't even cute. It's just like an old metal. It's not even wood. It's just a fucking plain ass metal ladder.
Yeah. Another thing that I would do is I would immediately start traveling.
Yeah.
Like, I would take you and Emily, and we would just go travel.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brie would want to come, but of course she can. But
yeah,
I would just start traveling all over, and I would find the best places for us to live. And then I would build like 3 houses next to each other.
Yeah. We'd just have our own cul-de-sac.
Yeah. And I think having like our own separate houses would be nice, so we could all like decorate however we want. We would have our own privacy to do whatever, but then just having like a shared yard or something like that would be super nice, so our dogs can like go in between houses. And I would really love that.
You're getting ready for bed, you just gotta call everybody and be like, is my dog in your house?
Hey, is my dog over there? I want to go to bed.
Yeah, that's like our fucking dream.
Right? That's like a fantasy for me.
Yeah.
And we could all pick out exactly what style our houses want to be in and everything.
Yeah.
It would be so nice.
Yeah.
I'd buy you a new car.
I like my car.
Or maybe we would just fix it up. It's got like
it
body
just needs
damage.
some help.
Yeah, it needs help. I know you like your car.
See, I would want to like
soup it up.
Yeah. Fix my car, like fix the actual problems with it, and then like repaint it
Mm.
and like play with like
Designs,
decorating the interior of it.
That's fair.
To,
I
like,
would just
do-
like give you a fat chunk of change to do that.
Yeah, because
I'd buy an
it needs new
RV.
paint. I like it being blue, but it's
It's
just
a cute blue.
it just like needs some paint. My fucking the front of it is like from, you know, being on the interstate and probably a little bit from when I worked in town, and I would come into the parking lot at work a little too hard, and I would just hit the fucking thing.
It just needs some
Or-
body work.
Any number of times when I like there would be fucking snow and ice in my parking spot, and I would hit it thinking it would fall over, and then it wouldn't. There's just like
Crunch.
chips out of the paint on the front of my car. A lot of it now I think is from, some of it is from doing that shit, but a lot of it now I think is just from being on the interstate all the time and getting like nailed. But it could use a new paint job.
Yeah.
But also like put something on it. I want a blue chicken on my car.
Didn't you have a dream about that? Or is that something different?
That's what it's named. I call my car Kojiro after the blue chicken in Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
So I want a blue chicken just on my car.
Valid.
But I also just like, I always think it would be fun. I watched Maggie Stiefvater do this to one of her cars where she popped all the panels out of like all the plastic things that could just easily pop out in her car and spray painted them and like did all these fucking sick designs and then popped them back in, and it looks so fucking cool, and I want to do that.
Hell yeah.
Or like that thing that you saw on TikTok a while back where you take the fabric off of the panel on the roof and replace it with something cute.
Yes, I really want to do that. And glue like some pretty designs on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be fun. I get too attached to things, so even if I'm a rich people and I can afford to buy another car, I like my car. Also, the biggest reason that I would buy a new car in general, like at least right now, is because it would be nice to have one that's like better for commuting. But if I'm rich, then I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Although I would probably buy another car that's like an off-roading vehicle. I would like to buy a Jeep just for funsies, but that's also
Yeah.
not a car that I would drive like around. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would.
That's why I was like, I'd buy you a new car. I'm like, you don't have to get rid of your other one.
But like, yeah, having
But for funsies.
yeah,
Yeah.
an off-roading vehicle would be fun.
We can tow it behind my RV.
Yeah,
I want four-wheelers.
four-wheelers are
sounds
fucking
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I just watched hit herself in the face.
I didn't hit myself in the face. I went to scratch my nose, but I had my cup in my hand and it like hit my fucking headphones because
Oh.
they're huge.
I
So
thought
just,
it
like,
hit your face.
I just forget. Like I can't see them. So
Yeah.
four-wheelers are fun though, and jet skis. I just want like toys.
Yeah.
I just want
That's
a bunch
what
of
rich
expensive
people
toys.
do. Yeah.
You know what else I would do?
What?
I would like, I don't know if I'd want to own it, but I would pay for and be in charge of the, like, I can't think of the word, but to like fix up our dog park in town
Mhm.
because it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
I would like, because I think the city owns it. I don't think it's privately owned. A lot of people think the shelter owns it, but they don't. But I
Mm.
think it's the city that owns it. But anyway,
Just funded to be a lot
yeah,
nicer.
I'd be like, all right, I'm going to give you a bunch of money and I'm going to tell you what to do with it.
Mhm.
And like fix up the fence there so it looks a little nicer and like, because it's
Actually
just kind
have
of,
grass there.
yeah, like plant and maintain like clover maybe so that the dogs could, it might stand up to the dogs a little bit better, and like put in nicer walking paths that are actually separate from, you know, the dirt.
Mhm.
Plant a bunch of trees. Maybe like,
Have a water fountain that doesn't just create a fucking lake.
yeah. And put some like equipment in there for the dogs. There's a couple of things there, but it's like gross and it's just like old, you know, it's not been maintained. So like you can still use it, but it's like super splintery and like none of the dogs ever want to touch it, I feel like.
Valid. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah. Put in just some new equipment and like more of it.
I'd also just have another one like closer to town.
Yeah. I don't know where you'd put it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have one though that like had like a pond so the dogs could go swimming.
Yeah,
But like
like a
definitely it
clean
would need to be
pond.
maintained so that it's not disgusting. You know, but like that would be nice.
Yeah.
Because I don't even mind. It's like nowhere in Cheyenne is really that far away.
That's true.
The struggle with going there is that sometimes you get stuck on the other side of the train
Yeah.
because you have to cross tracks to get to it,
Yeah.
or you have to go like out and around on the highway.
And
or on
even then,
interstate.
there's still another train there.
Yeah. So that's kind of a struggle, but
Yeah.
like I don't
I
really
would just
mind
like
where
one-
it is, but it'd be nicer to
like
have a bigger
more.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More options.
Yeah. It would also be nice to have like a small dog park and a large dog park.
I agree, honestly.
Or like
yeah.
small dog / it would be nice to have a puppy
little
park.
animal park.
Because like the dog park
Under
that we
30
have,
pound park.
yeah, there's like a small dog area, but it's like
Yeah.
the size of an average backyard. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's ever in there. Everybody just takes their. I don't feel like
Well, there's
I
nothing
see.
in there.
Yeah, it's just a square
It's just dirt.
and like weeds.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
There's not often small dogs there. I feel like I don't feel like people don't feel like they can really take small dogs there because
Yeah.
no one,
A lot of them are just big dogs.
yeah, because no one, like we had trouble taking Night there.
Yeah, I was always kind of leery about taking Night there, and he would have an okay time.
Everybody
but-
always just wanted to hump him.
Yeah.
And then he ended up
He's
having a
such a
bad
pretty
time.
lady.
And you would just have to carry him around.
Yeah.
But like
well, 'cause
having
nobody else would like rein in their fucking dogs.
yeah.
And then Knight would get offended because people are trying to fucking rape him in the
Yeah.
middle of the dog park.
Yeah. He just would not be having a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like having specifically a small dog park that's like 30 pounds and under or something like that, I think
Yeah.
would be nice. And then
Yeah.
having a large dog park so you don't have to worry about like a situation happening when your
Mhm.
giant dog is trying to play with a tiny dog and
Yeah.
neither of them recognizes their size difference.
Yeah. Another thing I would do is I would fund the upkeep and like economy of reservations
Yeah.
because they're absolutely shit. They
Yeah.
don't have clean water. I'd fucking fix Clint's clean water shit. Like, what the fuck is still happening there that they don't have clean water?
Right. I would just start lobbying for like all the opposite of what the other billionaires are lobbying for.
yeah.
Like if I had unlimited money,
Yeah.
that implies that I have more money than all of the billionaires.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Yeah.
I would just start being really loud and obnoxious with my money
Yeah.
and being
I'd
like,
be
oh,
like
no.
super democratic with my money.
Yeah.
And just be like, yeah, well, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing this.
Yeah. You know what else I would do? I would buy all of the parts from the out of commission wind turbines
Mm-hmm.
and then use them for shit, like repurpose them because
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
we should be doing to begin with.
I agree.
Instead of like burying them. I would go have them unburied
Yeah.
from where they are and buy them all and use them for shit and show the people who already own them that just fucking wasting them in the ground is a tremendous waste of money
Yeah.
and resources. And I would start making more money off of them,
Hell yeah.
like buying them and reselling them for
And-
parts or whatever
yeah.
and like installing them as
and doing designs like greenhouses and
yeah.
other things that we could make with all of that
I'd
material.
go to like Walmart and Target and be like, hey, let's work together. I have these wind turbines and I want to build awnings for all of your parking lots.
Hell yeah.
And I want to put solar panels on them
Hell yeah.
and power the lights in your parking lot and your store.
Dude, fuck yeah. Another thing I would do is I would buy like the entirety of Hawaii and then just like give it back to the natives.
Yeah.
So that nobody ever could like take their land anymore.
Yeah. Same with like, I mean, any native area that is like being invaded now.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, the whole of the United States, it's not like we can just like kick all the white people out because it's just like there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah.
So they're like, we can work with some things.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of that going. I would like buy the entire rainforest, like the Amazon rainforest, and then be like, no one can touch it anymore.
No. Everyone is illegal here. But yeah, I agree. I would
and like give that to the tribes that live there.
Yeah.
And or like buy the fucking coral reef.
Yeah.
I would just buy the planet and it's mine now, and now no one can touch it.
Now no one
you
can
can't
fuck it up
anymore. Or like just, work with those peoples.
Yeah.
To like put them where they need to be, where they deserve to be.
Yeah, I agree. I would do the same, and things that I could like fix, like buying out buildings and whatever that is on native land, I would do that and be like, here, this is yours.
Mm-hmm. This is your building now. Do what you want with it.
This is your building. This is your clean, fresh water. No more pipelines.
Yeah.
Stop it. But I would do that. ASMR.
Goldfish
Or
ASMR.
like raging, and then it's just like calm ASMR. But yeah, I would buy us a horse. I would buy so many rescues. Just so many rescues. That's why I would have to like make a rescue. And I would like,
a rescue or a sanctuary?
It depends. Probably both. Like, I would have animals that couldn't really be adopted out. Like, they have certain medical problems and they're like really hard to take care of. They're expensive. Those would be like permanent residents at the rescue, so it would be a sanctuary. But I would also have a rescue for animals that could be adopted.
Yeah. You could also do like a forever foster program.
Yeah.
Like a lot of senior rescues do.
Yeah. I would do a lot of that. I would stop people killing wolves because it's fucking awful.
Not allowed. I feel like I'd put stricter laws, or I would work to put stricter laws on. I like how I'm like, I could just buy laws.
I mean, that's how it works.
How it is. I'm not going to be a politician, but I'm going to pay people to do things. Like stricter hunting laws, because there's like, I mean, we have some like decent hunting laws as far as like deer and elk, etc., to like keep the populations, but then everything else is pretty much kill it until it's done.
Yeah. And it's not okay.
I feel like I would pretty much put predators on a you only kill it to save your own life basis. There would be no wolf hunting season. There would be no like bear hunting season.
Only for population control.
See,
and I don't think it would be like a hunting thing. It would be like,
here's the thing though, they don't really need population control.
Yeah.
We need population control.
That's fucking
the only reason that like we, put in that like wolf hunting season is a thing to control the population is because we are taking up more of their space. Like nature controls its own population and we are the ones that are causing problems.
That makes sense.
Like the only one I was just thinking, like, there's a lot of people who, like in Alaska, I know specifically, who like have homesteads and stuff, will hunt bears to eat. So like that's valid. Different. But
if you're not gonna eat it, you can't hunt it.
Yeah. But other predators you really don't eat. Like
no.
The only reason people hunt bears is because they're fucking massive.
Yeah.
And even then it's not super common. But the people who do like hunt it for the meat and the pelt and they use it all. So like that's valid.
Yeah.
But like there's no reason to be killing wolves and bobcats and mountain lions. Like you don't need to do that. We're the problem. We're the ones going into their space. It's not the other way around.
Yeah. But there was one like recently.
I would also just buy like national and state parks.
Yeah.
Like whatever ones I could or whatever land that I could buy to preserve it.
Yeah.
And just be like, nope, no people here.
No. Illegal. No people. Or I would let people there, but I would have it like guarded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I would
sure
just say
that
you can't
were-
live here.
Yeah. Yeah. You can visit.
And honestly, even some of it would be like very, hey,
Beetle, stop.
gross.
He's just laying on Logan.
But anyway, it would be really, there would be a lot of really strict rules
Yeah.
as far as your presence there.
If
feel
I
like-
catch you fucking littering, you will die. No.
Yeah.
But you will get a huge fine.
Yeah.
And you will never be allowed back in the park. We'll have a wall of shame.
Yeah. Because that's what pisses me off so much when
Every
we go
time-
camping is there's just
every
fucking
time.
trash everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Also, if I was going to have like a nature reserve or whatever with like campsites, I don't even know if I would specifically have campsites. Because to me, it's a little bit more fun to like go and just
Do your own
find
thing.
a thing.
For it.
But I do understand like it's kind of a safety thing as far as like your fire pits are concerned.
yeah.
So if I was gonna like build campsites, they would all be so far away from each other.
Mhm.
There might be like a couple of group campsites, but like, you know, when I go camping, I want y'all listened to our camping rant.
I want y'all to fuck off.
I want everyone to fuck off. So that would be a selfish thing. That's just for me.
That's valid.
But also then
honestly.
there would be fewer of them. And it would be easier to take care of.
Wouldn't
you
be
know.
so overcrowded.
Yeah.
I would pay people so much money to clean up
Yeah.
our planet, really.
Yeah.
And fund those I think it was in Japan in a landfill that they found a organism that eats plastic and breaks it down. And I would fund that. I want them everywhere.
How fucked up is
landfill.
it though that like a creature has evolved to eat our garbage because we have so much of it?
That's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. And I hate that we're at that point, but I'm like, I don't know any other way to fix it.
Yeah.
I would fund big stores to stop using plastic bags.
Yeah. That doesn't even need funding. I feel like you could just like we could just enact laws against it. Like some states do. I know that California, if you want to use plastic bags, you have to buy them.
Yeah.
So that encourages most people to just bring their own.
Just have that be a national thing.
And there's a lot of stores that like I know Target does this. If you bring in one of their like, you know, canvas totes that they sell for however much that you get like 5 cents off. It's something minuscule, but it's like you get a few cents off of like every bag or whatever that you're using if you bring it in. And I feel like grocery stores could really like, you know, you go grocery shopping for the month for your family of 5 and you're like, you've got-
$1,000 in debt.
yeah. I would just pay for a lot of like leftist propaganda.
Right? For fucking commies.
Because like that's what the right is so good at.
Yeah.
They're so good at all of this propaganda that just like turns the stupid people even stupider.
yeah.
So like if we just get in there, we start telling bullshit lies about how plastic bags give you
Give you cancer.
infiltrate like
Because, you know,
the mommy blog side of Facebook.
yeah, they don't care about other people. And they don't care about the world. So we have to
Yeah.
direct it at them specifically. I would mandate vaccines.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired of y'all not vaccinating your kids, not vaccinating yourself. Get vaccinated. I'm tired of this.
I like how this started out being, what would you do if you won the lottery? And turned
like a fun
into,
thing.
I'm just a fucking humanitarian and I'm angry.
I'm tired of this. What's another fun thing you would do?
Nice. I'd put a lot of funding into like I'd put a lot of funding into figuring out how to put like a being's consciousness into a new body. Whether that
Interesting.
be like an organically grown body that is reserved for that person or like bionic body. The reason being, I want to have my dog with me forever.
Valid.
So if I can just continue to put my dog's brain in a new body, until
make a new body,
we're done. I also want to be able to communicate with my dog. So like along those lines, just, fucking like callers from Up or whatever. So I can be like, hey man, are you cool if we put you in your new body so you can keep living?
Yeah.
And you feel better?
Yeah, okay.
And just eternal life for dogs. That's what I want to fund.
Honestly, I would figure out how to cure cancer. I would, if we're totally fantasizing about this, just figure out how to cure cancer in all things and stop making more people and dogs and things. Just let them live forever.
See, I'm going after age in general.
Yeah.
Because, I don't want to live forever. That sounds awful. But if my dog can live at least as long as me.
Yeah.
Without, even looking at, Bella and Logan being, having arthritis and shit.
Yeah.
And also, imagine what you could do for people who just, have ailments.
Yeah. For sure.
Somebody's got fucking muscular dystrophy or whatever.
Or, trans people.
Yeah.
Even.
That you could just, build a new body.
Yeah. It's literally build a bitch.
Yeah.
They can design what they want.
If I could just get a body,
hey, yo, what breed do you want to be?
There'd have to be a lot of really in-depth regulations on it.
Yeah.
And it would definitely have to be you need this thing, you need a prescription for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And not to just build a whole new body just because.
Yeah.
Or you can't just be building a new baby because you don't like the way this one looks or whatever. It's definitely a lot of that same kind of moral gray area of well, if we can choose what genes are in our baby, then, I don't want that. I think that's fucked up. But if it's okay, well, this body is literally falling apart and it doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get me a new one. If, and it doesn't even necessarily need to be a whole new body. It'd be well, I'm paralyzed from the waist down. Give me a new waist down. You know what I mean? But also, I feel you'd kind of have to kind of work with the regulations a little bit. So it's not just I'm going to build myself a perfect Olympian body and then I'm going to go just take the Olympics because I have the money to buy this new body. Yeah. It'd be you got to work with what you already have and kind of build off of that. You know what I mean?
What if it was based off of your genes, your original genes,
exactly.
But it's just corrected.
Yeah.
Corrected to functioning. That's it.
Yeah.
I feel that's very valid.
Because even you were saying with trans people, it could be this is what your body would be if you had been born with this, this genitalia or whatever.
Yeah. For sure. I think that would
and
be
not
very
just being
important.
I want to build a new body, but also I want to look like a lizard. Because that's pretty fucking sick, but we don't need to do that.
Let's not. Listen, we've all seen that fucking episode of Full Metal Alchemist. We don't need that.
I'm thinking about, have you ever heard of Ollie London?
I have not.
He's this dude who, for the last several years, he's obsessed with Jimin from BTS.
Yes, the guy who's making himself look like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's had hundreds of plastic surgeries, and he says that he identifies as Korean and he identifies as Jimin and that's my Korean name and I want you to respect blah blah blah. That's the kind of shit that we need to not be doing.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that. That's yeah, I don't think that's healthy.
Yeah. Bitch, you don't need plastic surgery, you need fucking therapy.
Yeah. I'm listen, I don't want to be myself either, but I'm dealing with it.
Right.
I'm not trying to be anybody else either, you know?
To an extent, body mods are one thing. If you want to get
Dude, I always think about the guy who literally looks like a lizard. He has like a split tongue, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
if you
sure,
want to
go
be that
for it.
extreme, sure. But like, my point is, we don't need to be like injecting ourselves with lizard DNA.
Yeah, no.
Like, if you want to just go all out on the aesthetic, I guess that's your prerogative. But like, you don't need to build a lizard body.
No. I'm sorry, furries.
As cool
We
as I think it
shouldn't.
would be to be able to give myself like cat eyes so I can have night vision and shit. No. We can't go that far into playing God.
No, I would rather not. Another thing that I would do is I would just like build a Godzilla scene in my backyard.
Yeah.
Just like with a giant Godzilla statue and Mothra statue.
I want, along with my animatronic dragons, I just want a Godzilla.
An animatronic Godzilla.
Yeah.
He wanders around your castle.
Yeah. And I want it to be able to be like, I want it to have an AI so it can just do Godzilla shit. But also, I want to be able to like climb inside it and like manually control it so that I can do Godzilla shit.
Fair.
I'll build you a Mothra too.
Are you talking about Mecha Godzilla?
No, but I want like regular Godzilla because Mecha Godzilla looks stupid.
Especially in the new one.
Yeah.
He looks goofy.
And I want my Godzilla would be based off of Godzilla 2000 because
yeah.
he has
Puppy
Pink.
face.
dorsal spikes.
Yeah. He lights up and
Yeah.
smoke comes out of him. Yeah.
And I wouldn't add like
Mostly-
extra lasers and shit like Mechagodzilla. I would just the radiation death breath and
Yeah.
that's fine. Just your classic Godzilla superpower.
Yeah. Just the usual.
That's what I
one
would
thing.
do. That's how I would help the planet with like disposing of radiation. I would just feed it to my Godzilla
Yeah. And where would it go?
into Godzilla
Where would it go?
into his tummy.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It would go into being his radiation death breath, and then I would use it to shoot Jeff Bezos out of space.
I thought you wanted him to stay in space.
Yeah, but if he's like in space and then he gets shot by a Godzilla breath, you know? What are we gonna? What, you gonna fight Godzilla? I'm not gonna fight Godzilla.
No.
You just be like, Godzilla really didn't like Jeff Bezos.
Dude,
And
what
he's
if
gone
you just
now.
lived in Godzilla? Your house just shaped
It's like a
Godzilla.
house moving castle, but it's Godzilla.
Yeah. He moves and everything. That's just like your RV. It's a giant Godzilla that just walks around.
You're like, well, let's go on a trip to Yellowstone and fucking Godzilla. I don't know if Godzilla can go to Yellowstone. He might blow it up.
It's true.
Be a little risky.
Well, you could just like go hang out at Devil's Tower.
Climb on top of it.
Just like the fucking that just reminded me of the divine beasts from Zelda.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine Godzilla in that style though. That would be cool.
Fucking sick.
Kind of want to draw that.
Do it.
I always say I'm gonna draw things and I never do. I never draw.
That's okay. Me either.
But another thing that I would do is I would probably like in building our houses, I would probably build like an old Victorian style house, but just brand new.
I don't know. I would have to just like go on a style, like home style shopping spree and just like pick out things that I wanted.
Yeah.
Because my house would probably be a fucking amalgamation.
That's fair. I've seen your Minecraft house.
Do I have a Minecraft house?
Just the one server that we were playing on when like you first got it.
That was just a dirt house.
Yeah.
I think that's all I built in that one because I didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
My basement was full of spiders.
Although I
because I
have
didn't know how to make a torch. Also, we were on an island in the sky, so I couldn't go get supplies.
I built a staircase. Also, what was I going to say? I've also seen your Animal Crossing house, though, so you could build a good house.
Yeah, every room is like a different thing. That's what I'm saying, though.
Fair,
it would just be an amalgamation, but I'd have to figure out how to make the outside look right.
I mean, you could work with builders.
Yeah. I would just have to, like, get on fucking HGTV Pinterest and just, like, pick out houses. And be like, okay, I want this here, and I want a room like this, and I want a room like this, and they'd be like, that's not going to work. That's... No.
We can't legally do that.
I want a treehouse.
That's valid.
Like, you know the treehouse guy who goes and builds like actual houses and trees? I want that.
That sounds nice. We could hire him. Are you wagging your tail?
He's a happy, sleepy boy.
Logan's just sleeping on my bed, gently swishing his tail.
So happy.
I would figure out how to tame deer and ride them.
Valid. I feel like I'd go for a moose instead. Yeah. I don't know how well deer would be able to carry people.
Yeah.
Just their like body shape. Moose are shaped a little bit more like horses, and I feel like they could carry my weight better.
Yeah, that's true.
Like maybe
elk
I was gonna say maybe elk just because they're bigger.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
That's what I mean by deer is like they're all part of the same family. But I would the biggest ones probably. I bet you could ride a caribou.
I was gonna say maybe caribou.
I bet people do.
I feel like they're I don't know if they're ridden so much. They're mostly used, I think, as like pull. Sleigh animals.
Yeah. I don't know that they're big enough to carry adults though.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like probably in like the petting zoos around Christmas where they have reindeer, kids probably get to ride them. But kids also get to ride like goats.
Yeah.
So
I would just figure out how to make them big. And just pick your favorite. I would resurrect the red deer. Or not the red deer, I forget what it's called. The mega deer. That's like a gigantic deer.
Yeah. I would resurrect a woolly mammoth, and then I would give one to my dad. Because he's always wanted a woolly mammoth. I would also give him a yak. Because he's also always wanted a yak. Mostly I think he wants to eat them, but you know, that's fine.
Right.
You know what else I would do? I would pay DC to fucking finish Teen Titans, the cartoon.
Dude.
We deserve it. Okay.
We all deserve it. We're suffering.
Because I just don't like the comics as much. Like, the comics, I've read a couple of them. And they're fine. But I'm just so attached to the cartoon.
Yeah.
And I want an ending.
Well, it was different than the comics.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was a lot different.
Yeah. I would also pay whoever to continue Gallivant because I fucking love that show. What canceled shows would you bring back if you could?
I know there are ones, but I'm just like drawing a blank right now.
Listen, there's a lot of shows that ended for a reason. Like they stayed on for too long.
Yeah.
And then they went bad.
A lot of the shows that I liked had a pretty good solid ending.
Mm-hmm.
Like Avatar, Scrubs, and
we don't talk about the last season of Scrubs.
The last season shouldn't have happened, which is why you don't.
Even the actors didn't want it to happen.
Reason.
But there are some shows I feel like that just kind of flew under the radar and got canceled in their first couple seasons, and it was like, no.
Yeah.
Like Gallivant.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Teen Titans got canceled.
I don't know.
Like, I guess maybe it just wasn't on at the right time or wasn't getting the ratings. But I feel like everyone our age is like, dude, fucking love Teen Titans.
Yeah. I would pay Pokemon to, like, slow down and actually make a good open world game.
Yeah.
Like, this new one looks pretty good, but it doesn't look good. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like it'll be fun, but comparatively to other video games that have come out, it's lacking in some areas.
And I don't really feel like I can make that judgment until it actually comes out. I feel like a lot of people jump the gun and are constantly like, you see a trailer that, I mean, we just got the trailer and it doesn't come out for like 6 months and everybody's like, oh, it looks like shit. But they're not done with it yet. So I'm not going to make any judgments on how good or not good it is until I play it. Because I feel like a lot of people did the same thing with Sword and Shield and they were like, oh, the animations all look like shit. You know what I didn't notice while I was playing it? Any of that.
Yeah.
I'm also not nitpicky about that kind of thing because I grew up with games looking like shit.
Yeah. I'm just like, I feel like a lot of people are fleshed out and feel fleshed out, you know? Yeah. Like Sword and Shield was really good, but the wild areas were kind of like meh. You know what I mean?
No, because I had a great time in it.
I mean, it was a great implement, and I really liked.
I don't know if it wasn't. I don't think it's that it wasn't fleshed out. I think it's that this is their first try at it, and so they needed feedback from fans.
It was just like a little bear. Yeah.
I would pay Disney to stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Stop buying everything. It's not for you.
I would make cults illegal.
Yeah.
Like if I had like god power. No more of that. Stop it.
I would also just pay them to stop making live action remakes. Stop it.
Stop it.
Don't.
I would
also pay them to
stop.
Yeah. I would also pay them to like reopen, and just like any animation studios to reopen their 2D animation studios.
Yeah, that's
and
valid.
Like bring that shit back because I like Pixar, but I'm tired of looking at it.
Yeah.
It all looks the same. I'm bored.
Yeah.
We've ranted about this before, so I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, definitely making cults illegal. Like, also, I would tax churches. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you are what you're doing for the community. You can get a tax exemption, like nonprofit status, or you can pay your fucking taxes. Yeah. Because there's no reason that a mega church shouldn't be paying taxes.
Yeah.
Like it's
literally called a mega church.
Yeah. They're like tax exempt because they're supposed to be, you know, giving back to the community, blah, blah, but they don't.
Not.
They give you depression.
They hoard money.
Yeah. Just like we were talking about yesterday when we were at Hobby Lobby for way too long. God didn't give me shit. God gave me depression. So fucking fight me.
Yeah. I would make...
And I would like take away a lot of religions' religion status and label them cults and then fucking cancel that shit.
Yeah.
For like, real, though. We would really break down and like use the BITE model and be like, okay, legally, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witness, fucking Scientology, those are cults. Mm-hmm. Those aren't religions. So get the fuck out. What?
I didn't like that. I set my water down on her table and it made a noise and I didn't like it. I would also make like birth control and abortions like readily available for anybody.
Yeah.
I would also make male birth control a lot easier.
Yeah. Like, I would also like, I like how this has devolved from what would you do if you had a lot of money to what would you do if you just were God?
Yeah. What if you, it's like we really
what would you do if the earth was your Sims?
Yeah.
Like, I would.
What would you do to fix America?
Yeah. I would get rid of that bullshit where you have to like jump through hoops to get a hysterectomy so you don't fucking die.
Yeah. Or also just because if you don't want one.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want your uterus.
I would make it illegal to ask, but what if your husband wants kids later? Yeah. That question is illegal. Fuck you.
Right? Fuck that. Let's ask.
I also like kind of related want to like just make it maybe not illegal. It's a little extreme, but like severely socially frowned upon to ask when are you having kids? Because it's a fucked up question.
Yeah, stop asking people.
What if I just don't want kids? B, what if I've tried to have kids and miscarried 4 times?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You just brought that horrible memory up to me.
Yeah. What if I just had a miscarriage like a month ago and you're asking me why I don't have kids yet?
Because my body doesn't fucking work.
Because my body kills them. Thanks, Sharon.
Thanks.
Just like sexual health and education.
I want that to be a lot.
A lot more like mainstream and correct.
Yeah. I would fucking revamp the education system and just be like, no, this didn't happen at all.
Yeah.
Stop fucking up our history.
Also,
teach actual history.
Yeah.
How it actually happened.
No more abstinence-only sex education.
Yeah. No. Real sex education. Everywhere. Available to anybody who wanted it.
Yep.
And no, the parents don't get to choose.
Yeah.
The kids do.
Also, sex education for like elementary students.
Yeah.
And young kids. I feel like when you say sex education for kids, people are like, oh my God, you're going to like teach kids. Like no, we need to teach kids like what their anatomy is called.
Yeah.
What to be expecting later in life and what is and is not okay for other people to do to them. That is sexual education for kids.
Or for them to do to other people, honestly.
Like I always think about that post that I've seen floating around a few times where it's like a kindergartner or first grader telling their teacher that their uncle touched her cookie. Or licked her cookie or something, and the teacher was like, okay, and then later heard the mom like talking to the kid referring to like her private parts as her cookie, and then being like, oh my God, I just ignored this child asking me for help because you are too like fucking immature to teach your kid what their actual anatomy is called, and you gave them a cutesy nickname that means nothing to anyone else.
Exactly.
And now this kid has like more trauma than they needed to.
Yeah. That's awful.
Yeah.
Vagina's not a fucking curse word.
Yeah. Also, just imagine a bunch of like 5-year-olds running around saying coochie. Tell me that's not funny.
That's really funny.
Or like, if nothing else, just to like explicitly refer to them as like your private parts.
Yeah.
Like
they do be borking.
They borking.
But yeah,
Bella, go outside. But like that shit's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Hi, Bella. Did you get him? She's like, you're not petting me. You're not even looking at me. What's wrong with you?
I would ban stores from
just ban stores. No more stores.
No more capitalism. Illegal. I would ban stores from discriminating against, or I would ban every like state and what is it called? Company from discriminating against transgender people and gay people. Like I would make it illegal to fire somebody for being gay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it pretty much is already illegal, but there's also just like right to work, like Wyoming, where you don't have to have a reason to fire someone. That's the problem.
I'm like
pretty much every company has like their own policy about like sexual and gender discrimination and racial. But like, you know, in Wyoming, you can just be like, I'm firing you because I want to, and I'm going to write down a bullshit reason for corporate, and you don't get to dispute it because this is a right to work state.
Yeah.
That's what I keep seeing. I don't know if we've talked about this on here or not. I think we've talked about it before, but like for a while, just because of all the like the labor situation right now, I've seen a lot of kids on TikTok and stuff being like, yeah, on this date, we're all going to go on like a mass labor strike and blah, blah, blah. There's nothing they can do to you. And it's like, yes, they can. I work in a right to work state and they can fire me for any reason.
Yeah, they can fire me.
If they can be like, you didn't show up to work today.
You're fired.
You're fired. Like, they're all like, know your rights and like shouting out here like they know anything. And it's like, you don't understand.
Yeah. You don't understand. This is my livelihood.
Yeah.
That you're fucking
and like
with.
Sometimes, you know, as much as like I want there to be like a mass labor strike. I want there to be I want
repercussions for this.
Yeah, I want the labor forces to be able to show that we have the power, but
I want them to be protected.
But like there are so many people, myself included, who just can't take those days. You know, like I can't afford to take extra days off. Every time I do take an extra day off, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like ones that I actually need to take off, like I'm not going to just decide not to go to work just because. Like, I can't afford to do that. And I can't afford to get fired. I don't think I would, but like so many people would.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fortunate to not have horrible management, but a lot of people do.
Yep.
And if you have a boss that just is a shitty person or doesn't like you and you live in a right to work state, they'll fire you because they can.
Yep. No questions asked. Well, bye.
Well, this has just become really ranty.
Yeah, I thought
This was supposed to be fun. And then we were just like, I'm angry.
It really
Capitalism is stupid.
It just shows in everything that we do that we live in America and we're angry about it.
Yeah. I know. I love how, like, we were kind of talking about this last night, but I love how, aside from like our stupid things that we wouldn't actually do, would just be like funny.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything that we would do if we had money was like help other people and like try to fix the bullshit that other people have caused.
Yeah.
I feel like that says some things about us as people.
Yeah. It's just
not that there's anything wrong with like if you won the lottery and you just bought yourself a bunch of shit, like you just bought a bunch of toys and wanted to fuck off and live your own life. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, personally, I feel like
have the opportunity to help these things.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like I'm plagued by empathy. And when I see problems, I'm like, I have to fix that.
Yeah.
So if I had the like ability to do that, I would.
Yeah.
That's like my first priority.
Yeah, I feel that. I want things to be better for people. Oh,
Yeah.
Another thing, I would like have housing for homeless people.
Yeah.
Fill the houses for homeless people.
Yeah.
Communism.